Yeah, so crazy. Looking at this log, this is like the topics of the last 60 days when I've been going live. And I never actually demoed. I never demoed the product. Uh, that wasn't for the lack of work on it. It honestly, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about like actually going kind of deep on the code and the product until like half an hour ago. I guess the first month I was basically exclusively doing marketing, and my teammate was working on the product behind the scenes, and so I wasn't in the code much. And then over here, kind of the same, but the last few days I've been getting into the code, and I got up running locally. And also I'm starting to do monthly release emails where I add a tag, I create a release, I send out an email saying here's the January release and blah blah blah. Typical stuff. But I was just getting ready for the first one on January 1st in 2 days. I'm like cleaning things up, and I realized I didn't show you guys, so I'm just gonna poke around. This is local host right now, but I've been testing it on prod, and I'm gonna hit the button to merge, assuming nothing completely breaks when I demo this to you. So this is marketed as in a task manager for engineers. The for engineers part is coming more. I need to get a little more clear on how to make it specific for software engineers. But the task manager is here. There's 3 views. There's the week, which has a little sidebar. There's the day, which we were just looking at, and then there's the now view. And I'm going to just focus on this one because this is what we've been working on a lot recently, the last month or so. And we had this, like creating tasks, since last month. We added reordering, drag and drop. This moves it forward or back one day. But over here was when we start adding a lot of stuff, because we have this, you could call it like an event surface or a grid over here on the week view, and you can do a lot with it. What you'd expect from a calendar, forms, clicking. I call this resizing. You see how it even flipped there. Right click, action, just stuff, a lot of stuff. And when we shipped this version in beta last month, focused on this just to see if, tasks with nice shortcuts are even helpful and interesting to people. And to me, the answer is yes, absolutely. I love this view more than the other one, actually. So then we decide, okay, let's invest in getting this up to par with what we had over there. That required some styling changes. We're doing this in Tailwind. The other stuff is in styled components, because styled components is going away. So we're like, okay, it's a new view. Let's make that a little more clear. The dragging experience is a little more fluid currently, so it doesn't snap as much. If I go over here, you'll see it's proactively kind of. See how it's moving and kind of jumping? I don't love this, but what's happening is React is determining the position, the XY coordinates based on the mouse. And so when the mouse moves, it's, even when it's not jumping, it's calculating every little shift of the mouse. And I'd like to get a snapping algorithm going where it pre-computes it and makes that a little smoother. But anyway, that's what it's doing over there. Over here, it's a little smoother where it's just freeform, and then once you release it, it'll find its spot into the 15-minute interval. It's not the perfect scenario, but let me not get into the weeds too much about all that. It snaps. It snaps. You just, oh boy. So we saw it disappear. This might be one thing. I think it'll come back. There was one down here. I'll refresh. Right? There's another one down there. Let's see. We'll go to the week view. So under BB. Is there one under BB? There's a lot. Holy moly. Maybe there's too much? Is it just overwhelming it? We're on Tuesday, December 30th, right? Yeah. I mean, there is a lot here, but they should be showing up. Holy smokes. Let's see. Okay, slightly more, but still a lot of overlaps under BB. Dang, what's going on? Let's check. So this is the get request not modified. Wonder if it's a time zone type thing. Let's create one. After BB, let's move it down so it has space down here. No, dude, what just happened? Let's see. Okay. Thank goodness we got one created. Refresh. What happened? Okay, still there. Make sure it's on the week view. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Where's my what? There it is. Sheesh. So what the heck? Why are these missing? Move in. ASDF. Two ASDFs. AAA. Let's move it over. Okay, that looked good. So I'm going to go to 29 and check for AAA. There it is. Yo, so why are they not showing up here? What happened? I have a feeling it has to do with state. Because that's been changing a lot. Alright, so that's as clean as it can get now, yeah? So we got 3 under BBB. Let's go back here. But they're still not showing up. I wonder if, Let's just do new ones. Screw it all. Just get rid of all this. Goodbye. 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 Ooh, okay. We're getting somewhere. ID issue. If we're trying to delete something and it's saying it's not there, it's gotta be an ID issue, I would think. This one's I'm suspicious about. No, there it goes. Okay, so it worked after refreshing, so something might be up with this branch. I might have to test it more. Dang it. Thought I was gonna merge it. Alright, let's see. 745. Okay, that says it worked. Let's check over here. Phew. That looks good here. Here's a big test. It's going to show up. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm kind of relieved that it's here now. I'm confused why the first situation wasn't working. Now it's looking good. Now it's looking good, yeah? Let's bring some things over and see if I can show you the overlaps. Bring you back. Make some space here. We'll bring you back here. So this is something new, kind of how we're positioning it when they overlap. Let's see how it looks over here. Yeah, man, that looks nice. That looks nice. Okay, that's looking good still. Let's try the delete. That was something I had to work on. On this branch, as advertised, it's optimistic rendering, so that it shows immediately when I hit save instead of waiting, but also it's disabled, so you saw that spinner show up, so that I can't keep trying to edit it. Because although I can create this ID on the front end and the back end will honor it, the back end has to create it with Google Calendar, and then Google has to respond with the ID, and then the back end has to tell the front end to refresh, and then the front end can know what the Google ID is. Because I don't think Google API lets you predetermine the ID and include that. I think they want to have control over that. So that's kind of why that UX is there. All right. Hang with me. I'm just going to try to recreate whatever the heck happened before. My gut is like a stale state issue. But there was like a lot of overlaps, right? So let's just see. That's looking good now. Worst case scenario, I might just have to add a disclaimer in my release email saying, hey, it's not perfect. But the events, I think they weren't like being deleted or anything. It's just a state thing, and you might just have to refresh, and it'll probably be fine. Or move some things around a little. All right, I can do this. You get the point. You get the point. So I'm looking at the code. Let's see what we got here. This is the PR. 43 files, 17 commits, some back and forth with Copilot. It has some open things that are noteworthy, but I don't think are actual issues. Unless that's related to what we're seeing, I'm not sure. It's all based on web changes here. Here's the context menu. Here's the draggable portion. Sagas for handling like life cycles, tests. Here's the grid, all day row versus the main grid. And then here's the day view that we were looking at mostly. This is all public code, so if you are interested in your weird, you can look at it. But yeah, man, that's the product. You seen it. When I look at this, I'm like, this is cool, bro. I like being here. I like staying in the pocket. It makes me feel like I have some control over my day. I do want more out of the tasks portion. Like, I want to be able to click an open space and have maybe a pop-up or something where I can add a description. Right now, you have to go here to add your description. And there's no formatting. I'd like formatting. But still, for me, this is the winning view. This is it. This is the pocket I want to stay in. I thought initially it would be this one, but really, people don't have that many events, and they don't like. I think if you're like in a scheduler, you like this view. You want to see an overview of the work week. But if you're a knowledge worker who has to work deeply and like focus, I think you want to be here. I could see how we could incorporate the some of the tasks over here, like bring these in, maybe. I think there's a lot you can do here, actually. We could link these to issues, throwing out ideas on how to make this more helpful for engineers specifically, since we're niching down to that person, that persona, trying to be as helpful as possible for engineers and not just generic productivity people. Could link it to Notion, could link it to a GitHub issue. Maybe you're adding notes here, and as you're going, it's spawning off different prompts in Copilot. So maybe it's like a light wrapper around the Copilot interface, and you can manage your prompts here, but also also have your task here. I'm throwing stuff out, but once we get I just need to focus on fixing whatever was going on there and making sure that gets out. But in general, like, so I've been in the code the last 3 days or so, 2 or 3 days, and I'm excited. Even a month has passed, and the way you can code with AI has gotten better in the last 2 months since I've been on my little side quest to market and get the word out about this stuff. And I have so much confidence that whatever we need to add can be added. Like whatever that little blip was, it can be figured out. it'll be added. So I see no reason why I can't add any awesome feature I need to this thing. I don't see a reason why. Why couldn't this just be the best app for engineers? It can. It totally can. Yeah, man, I'm stoked. I'm bummed I don't get to show it to you along the way with these live streams anymore. But we'll figure something out. If you guys want live streams, I think I can do it better if I do it less frequently, and I schedule it and I make it more interactive and have things planned out more. When I'm doing it live, it's kind of like flying by the seat of my pants. Sorry, when I'm doing it daily, it's kind of like hard to juggle this and everything else. Anyway, I don't want to ramble. You saw the code, you saw the PR, you saw the app. Now it's time to get on my face. I'm trying to be like MTV Cribs. Now it's time to go home, Cribs. It's time for me to do some more debugging. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.